Good morning, everyone. Angel from Meaningful Magic here. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for taking your time out of your morning schedule to spend it with me. I appreciate you all so much. I'm going to share with you yesterday, I kind of had one of those inner critic voices, just, days where they just wouldn't leave me alone and was really on me, telling me, all those things that our critic likes to tell us. You're not good enough. You're not going to make it. Just really criticizing myself hard. Yesterday I made a mistake that cost me quite a bit of money. And I was a little angry at myself. And I started doubting everything that I'm doing and all the moves that I'm making, and just kind of really got upset with myself. And so I had to stop and reset, and I just set everything down so that it doesn't spiral into a continued thing. So that and did some of that reframing that we talk about. Like, I'm still learning, I'm still in process, and I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm a human being. And it actually wasn't like the mistake didn't benefit me in some way, but it just didn't, it didn't have the effect that I wanted. And I am in learning process. I am going through this all, trying to learn. Not only am I on a spiritual journey, but I'm on a creator's journey, and I'm really trying to pick up a lot of new skills, and I'm moving too fast for myself. And sometimes because I'm one of those leap of faith, believe you can do it kind of people, sometimes I leap, and then I realize I should have done a little more research before I leave. But that's okay. That's okay, because I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And that's kind of the message for today, is be easy on yourself. Remember that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and that we're all still learning. This human experience is a learning experience, and we're not going to get it right every time. That's just not even realistic to think that we're going to be able to get it right every time. So I just want to say thank you for being here through my learning journey, and thank you for being amazing through it. And I really want to stress today to be kind to yourself. Really shut that inner critic down and tell him he doesn't know what he's talking about, because everything happens for a reason. We really are divinely directed and divinely protected. So if we're chasing that spiritual path, we got to have a little faith that there's a reason, for everything. And sometimes that reason is you didn't do enough research, and so there's a lesson in there. And instead of berating everything that I've done and how far I've come, I need to remember that there's a lesson in just being where I'm at, and enjoying the ride, because sometimes I get so obsessed with the outcome that I forget to enjoy the ride. So I'm gonna do that today, and I'm gonna do some homework, because as you guys know, I always have a lot of homework. And I'm really just trying to learn. I'm just trying to every day be in process of becoming more valuable to myself, more more spiritual, more understanding. I'm really trying to become more self-aware, because it's in that self-awareness that we can really find out what our negative patterns are, and we can start getting rid of those or replacing those with better patterns and better habits. Like I talked about on one video, one of the things that really helped me get rid of a lot of my negative patterns were that I had to quit just taking stuff out of my life. I had to replace anything that I took out of my life. I needed to replace with something new. That way we're not just taking all the fun out of life, because our mind, at least in my mind, a lot of my bad habits, I had convinced myself were fun, even though they were destroying my life, and they hurt physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally my ego and my addictions, and all those challenges really present themselves as the fun part of life, when what they really are is literally the part of life that's taking away from your actual life. because it really is this spiritual journey that has made my life completely amazing. Even when I make mistakes or I get hard on myself, I can reset. I can, start the day over. I can take 10 minutes to meditate. I can ground. I can get up and do the dance party. I can go to the beach. I went to the pool yesterday to kind of reset and just set everything down and took a nap because I just was, there's no point in participating in that self-doubt and that self-hatred. You don't have to participate. You really can just stop, take a break, and walk away. And especially if we're talking about, big goals and, big responsibilities, it's really a good idea sometimes to just walk away for a few minutes and come back, with a new set of eyes. And I encourage everyone, no matter what you're working on, to get help from people who have already been there. I tell my daughter all the time, I ask a lot of dumb questions to a lot of smart people because it's true. Especially through starting my business and, learning psychology and stuff. I don't know. I don't know it all by any means. So I try to remain teachable and I try to ask a lot of really smart people a lot of dumb questions. And we are blessed because we live in the era of AI and the internet. So really the answers are out there if we're seeking them. And so, it comes down to what we're seeking in our lives. If we're, seeking better will find us. But if we're seeking the same old stuff, then the same old results are going to find us. And I really, just like I said today, would like to encourage you to love yourself, be easy on yourself, but not so easy that you're not being accountable. Because, I can convince myself that I'm being loving to myself by not calling myself out on my stuff. And that's destructive too, because the only way we get better is to become more self-aware of our stuff. And we've all got stuff, and I personally have a lot of stuff. And I'm really working on it, and I'm trying to get better at, recognizing what message my feelings are trying to send me. I listen to a lot of Tony Brown. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers because I want to change my life. So that's what I put in, so that's what I can get out. I do a lot of reading on spiritual books and on business books. I really, what we put in is what we get out. So if all we're listening to is, death metal and violent movies and, around violent people, we're going to get a violent heart. If all we're doing is focusing on the sad stuff and listening to sad movies and, posting up all our pictures of everybody we've lost, then that's what's going to happen. We're just going to become more sad. So for me, I'm trying to become more successful and more happy. So I try to input a lot of happy and successful stuff. That way, that's what I get out, And I remember that we're human, guys. We are human. If you fell down today or last night, get back up. I encourage you to get back up. Give yourself a little mental hug. Let yourself know that it's okay as long as we continue the journey, as long as we keep trying. This baby in ourselves when we're doing wrong, like, oh, it's okay, you're doing wrong. We can't do that and expect us to grow or get better. It's only through self-awareness, personal growth, spiritual healing, and having a goal bigger than ourselves, bigger than where we're at. Something to really strive for that gives us purpose and meaning. Because really, guys, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not happy and fulfilled and successful mentally and emotionally, then all that money's not going to make you happy anyway. Because really, money's just a tool that can be used to give you more freedom, more time, or to do the things that do fulfill you and do give you purpose. And like I said, I'm in the middle of opening this business, and so I'm trying to really watch my pennies and make the right decisions. And so what I made, I made a mistake yesterday that cost me a good amount of money. For me, for my budget, it's a good amount of money. I'm sure there's billionaires out there, it would have been like pennies, but to me, it was a lot of money. And right now, yet, let's say, So I got hard on myself, like maybe you shouldn't try this, maybe you don't know what you're doing, maybe, and no, I don't know everything. So the lesson there is more research, but it's also keep going. You know, all the greats will tell you that failure is part of the process of success, and it's people who quit after the first or second failure that never get where they're going, because everybody who's ever been great has failed before. That's part of the process. So I encourage you to be easy on yourself, but also accountable, and try to get the lesson out of it. Try to get the lesson out of it. And that's what this morning I woke up and I was like, the lesson is, before we make the move and open our wallet, we need to do a little more research. And it wasn't even something terrible, because it will still benefit me in other ways. It just didn't have the effect that I was hoping for. But I'm totally thrilled to be here, and I'm totally happy today, and I'm totally willing to keep going. I'm totally willing to keep trying, even when I make mistakes now. And before, I just would berate myself, and to the point where, I quit, and actually that's one of the things that I do. And it comes from my old stuff, and I'm really working on it, because it's one of my worst habits, is when something goes wrong, my first words, and words have power. That's why we call them spells. I'll be like, I just quit. I'm just done, and I never quit. So I don't know why I say that, but out of my mouth, I will say, I quit. I'm over it, and I need to quit telling myself that, because the truth is, quitters never win, and I want to be a winner. And I never do quit. I always say I'm gonna, and I get mad and have my little, and then I never quit, and I'm grateful for that. That's, let me just call that out to my higher self. I'm grateful that even if my words are at this present time not reflecting that, I am not a quitter. I keep going. I keep trying. So as long as we're willing to keep trying and keep failing until we get it right, we will end up being successful. And that is the difference, between people who are successful and people who aren't, is, a lot of us give up or get disheartened and just don't continue the journey. Well, of course we don't get to the destination if you stop at the roadside and decide, you're not, the mountain's too big to climb, then you'll never get to the top of it. So again, guys, be accountable with yourselves, but and learn the lesson from our mistakes, but then also accept that it happened, and then forgive yourself and move on. Forgive yourself and move on. And that's really what it all is about, is just trying to grow. We're not, if we didn't need to grow and we were perfect, we wouldn't need to go on all this journey, and we wouldn't have anything to learn. So just remembering that the entire human experience is simply a learning experience for our souls, our spirit, so that we can progress mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially, so just keep going, guys. Just don't stop. Reevaluate, reset, restart, but do it with a grateful heart. Do it with I'm grateful that I had the money to lose, and I'll still eat this week, because there were a lot of years I didn't have that money, and even if I did, I would have spent it on something that was destructive for my life. So at least we're spending money on things that are getting us forward and are for our highest value, and our highest selves. I really appreciate your time, guys. I'm not going to keep you. I am not even finished with my first cup of coffee. It's just something I really wanted to share with you, because, you guys have been amazing on the spiritual journey, and I can't even tell you how much it means to me that you share your time with me. I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. Stay up, raise your vibration, change your life, and have just a wonderful day. And don't let anybody blow it, or anything, not even yourselves. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate you joining me. And remember, raise your vibration, change your life.